There we go. What is happening? How's everybody doing today? Episode 8.
How are you keeping track of the episodes?
Well, since I'm the one who edits the videos and everything, I kind of have. Well, you say that, but then I lost track the other day when we were filming an episode, and you were like, "Which video was it where I made that joke and Shayna commented?"
Yeah,
so
see,
I forgot. So, yeah, we have this one's gonna be just talking about answering what Stumper Media hit us up about. So I'm excited about that one, and I'm sure you have it out on your phone, right? Cause
Yep, I got it
my
right
memory
here.
Sucks.
Got it right here. I do want to comment, though. I know you guys are probably thinking this is beating a dead horse, but went to the gym Monday? What's today?
Today's Tuesday.
Okay. Friday. Legs.
Are you the one who broke the leg press
I was
machine?
just going to say, the leg press machine's broken. That was going to be our first
I was going
exercise.
to blame you.
So I was like, okay, squats. Both squat places taken up. And I'm not doing a Smith machine squat because it's like doing it on the Soliflex. You're not hitting as much weight. So I'm like, okay, freaking both places are taken. I'll go over and use the squat machine, even though I didn't want to use the Smith machine. And then we were going to do something else. And you know where the dumbbells and the benches are, okay, that corner over by the windows? Mm-hmm. That's where your mom and I had to work out because the gym and people, man.
It was packed? What time did you go?
It was early. It was like 9:30. So
there were quite a few people in there last night, and there's normally never. I think there were like 6 people in there last night, which was crazy because that's not including us two.
Well, your mom, we went today just to play racquetball, and then, of course, we go upstairs to stretch and everything, and she goes, maybe we should change our days to Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. There was nobody in there. And this was, I did my praying and my Bible reading before we even went, and there was hardly anybody in there. So
maybe that's because people were finding out when you were working out, and they just wanted to see how it was done.
All right, I'm blowing snot out my nose now.
We got that in HD.
So let's, gym and people. I just wanted to mention that, and I'm going to have to try a new way of lifting. Recommendation by my son because my stomach disease and everything, lifting is tearing me up. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to try going very, very light. Going to have to suck up the ego, and I'm just going to basically stay with machines to see if I can kind of keep my core out of it. That means no squats. Legs are my favorite day, so no squats, really nothing with the legs. I mean, you can't do any leg exercise without involving your core.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you should still give leg extensions a try. Oh, I bet you could do that.
Yeah, I'll try leg extensions and I'll try leg curls.
And calves. You can do calf races on the way out down the stairs.
Well, no.
That's what me and Blaine do.
I was doing calf raises on the leg press.
Yeah,
I like that. So here's I'll let you take this first one. He wants to know, why did we go in the military and why did we get out of the military?
Same 2 reasons. I mean, both reasons are the same. I was trapped.
Why were you trapped?
No, it was just, I guess it was the easiest way to get ahead. I mean, I didn't have anything special going on in my life. I was a server at Applebee's down in South Texas, and that was going nowhere.
Tell them how you got there, because when I tell my story, I don't want them to think, man, Paul had a freaking hard life and Chris had it easy.
My life has been easy, though. So I was supposed to go to the Air Force first, and I made some poor life choices when it came to school, and I wish I'd write them a letter, those douchebags. Screw you guys. Fight me. Anyway, I had passing grades and everything except for literature, and I was like, you know what, I'm not doing literature, so I didn't do it, and of course I failed the class, and they were like, yeah, you're not getting your diploma. So anyway, the Air Force was like, hey, we can't take you without a diploma. So they even tried contacting the school that I was working out of, and that school did not care. So I didn't get to go, which is actually a blessing in disguise. I'm glad I didn't go to the Air Force because the rate that I had picked out, or whatever they called it in the Air Force, MOS or something, I don't know, was a Humvee technician. What do Humvees see? Dirt. Okay, I don't. Nope. I got lucky on that. Plus, I wouldn't be married to Roxy if I went to the Air Force. So, yeah. So then, my dad actually hit me up, and he was like, "Hey, I met a recruiter who said that they could take you, and they could make your whole diploma situation right." And I was like, "Cool." So, in my mind, I'm thinking they're gonna get me my diploma. That's not what happened.
That was a special warfare dude.
He was a Navy SEAL.
I forgot
That was
all about him.
what was his name? Ozuna?
He gave me a Navy SEAL T-shirt.
That dude was a beast. Oh my gosh, he was a beast. He was a cool guy. He didn't lie to me. Like, I had a misunderstanding. He never told me, like, he never fully explained. He was like, don't worry about the diploma situation. Your ASVAB scores are high enough. We're going to get you taken care of. So in my mind, I'm thinking, diploma's coming my way. I win. That's not what happened. I got to boot camp, and they started calling out names, and they were like, if you call your name, line up, and my name popped up. And I'm in line with all these other guys, and I'm like, what is going on? And turns out it was a GED test. So that happened. Yeah, that's why I joined the military. It was the easiest way to succeed in life.
You didn't get your GED until you got close to getting out.
So it was a 2-part test. The first day that we took it, everything went fine. Well, the second time, the following week that we were supposed to take the second half, something went wrong with like their systems and their paperwork and everything like that. And they were like, yeah, you're going to have to come back next week. And I was like, I graduate next week. Like, and they were like, well, you have to come take the test before you go out on liberty. And no, I'm saying that wrong. Hang on. See, I'm saying that wrong. I got sick when we were supposed to take the second half of the test. And then when I was going to take the second half after I graduated, because they wouldn't let me go on liberty until I took that test. Like, after we graduated, my parents and Roxy had to wait on me to take this test. And it just so happened that, yeah, that was when, like, it all got screwed up and paperwork just wasn't. And so they were like, and I go, what? I'm leaving. Like, I won't even be here next week. So they were like, well, when you get to your A school, you have to take the second half. You have to have your GD. They won't even let you class up if you don't have it. And I called their bluff. I got classed up, did A school, went to my squadron, went on 1 deployment, and went on 2 deployments. And then my NC1 was like, hey, you don't have your GED. And I was like, and? Like, I'm living life. I'm already doing it. What are you talking about? I don't need it. And she was like, yeah, if you don't do it, if you don't get this taken care of, your GI Bill is null and void. And I didn't want to, my dogs are losing their minds.
Hold on. Yeah, we got a problem. Hey, we're back. There was a dog excitement.
So my dogs were losing their mind. So. All right, so yeah, I was like, I guess I'll do it, take care of it, and I still to this day have not used my GI Bill. Have no desire to, don't care. But at least I had it, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point because I turned it down when I was in the Navy. So then when I got over to the Army, I told them, yeah, I want the GI Bill. And they said, you can't have it. And I said, what do you mean I can't have it? And they said, you turned it down in the Navy, so you can't pick it up now. I don't know if that was true or what, but I didn't get the GI Bill, and I didn't have to use it, so that was cool. I went in because I graduated high school at 17 years old, and I might have told this story before. As I'm walking across the podium, this is the stage, you know, where everybody walks up, gets their diploma, shakes people's hands. And I turn around and look, and standing at the end of the podium on the stage is my uncle. I was raised by my aunt and uncle, and I thank God for them because, man, they were great parents. My uncle taught me how to be a man, but he was also hardcore. And as I got over by him, he put his arm around me, and he said, "Congratulations, pal. I didn't think you would make it. Now spread your wings and fly." So at 17, I was out of the house.
Fun fact, he still can't fly, so.
Yeah, no, I can't. We'll talk about that in a bit. So I didn't join the military right away. I went to college. I was going to be a fireman, going for fire science. Ran out of money, joined the military because you need that paycheck. That's why I joined. Like, I am not a liberal, but Senator John Kerry a long time ago, yeah, he's a piece of garbage, but he said, well, most people go in the military just because they can't get a job. I don't know if that's true about most guys, but that's why I went in. So I wasn't offended by that statement at all. I couldn't get a good job. I was only 17 years old. Nobody going to give a 17-year-old a good job. So I got in, and I told the other story. I got out of the Navy a year and a half later. I joined the Army. The Army, I made sure I was getting things squared away so that I could go right into the Department of Corrections when I got out, and that therefore I would know. I knew that I would have a career, and that's the way it worked out. That's why I got out, because I did not want to be in the military. I just was there for the paycheck. Matter of fact, when I was out the year and a half after the Navy, I was busting butt to make crap money. So I finally said to my wife, hey, I'm going to go back where I can get a paycheck for free, and went into the Army. Not that you actually get a paycheck for free, but it's a lot easier than busting your butt out in the civilian world and not really getting anywhere. So I wanted to get ahead.
Not when you did the math and calculated how many hours you were working versus what you got paid.
That's true.
You would have made more money at McDonald's if you worked that same amount of hours.
That's true.
Especially now. Goodness gracious.
But you had 3 hots and a cot and free medical.
Yeah. I did it. Yeah, free medical. That was a joke. Oh, my gosh. However, the medical for Roxy they treated her like a queen. But anytime something went wrong with me, oh, man. It was like I was faking and trying to get out of work, and I rarely ever went to the doctor. I mean, when I went to him for the severe migraines that I have that are absolutely just level me. I told him I wanted to get my head looked at, and he was like, "Follow my finger, you're good." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Do you know what a migraine is?" And I was like, "Yeah, isn't it like where the blood vessels in your brain, like they shrink and your brain isn't getting enough like oxygen?" And he's like, actually, they don't know really what cause migraines. He's like, I'm going to send you over to the eye specialist because, like, when I get severe migraines, I get auras before I get them. And so I get over there, and he's looking at my eyes, and he's like, your eyes look good, man. He's like, do you know what caused migraines? And I was like, I have no idea. And he goes, it's where the blood vessels in your brain shrink. And I was like, I hate all of you. So, yeah, free medical's a joke for the military.
I can attest to that because I kept having troubles with my ankle in the Navy. I kept spraining it, and I mean bad. And then finally the last sprain I did, I thought I broke my ankle. And they carried me inside. We were playing basketball, and they carried me inside. And, you know, I thought, man, my leg's broken. But it finally eased up, and I got to where I could gimp on it. So when I was back at my ship that night, the next morning I went to sick call, and I told the medical doctor, corpsman, whatever they called, I said, I need to be sent over to Balboa Naval Hospital. I think I have a torn tendon in my ankle. And the doctor looked at me, and he goes, you don't have a torn tendon. I was like, I mean, he didn't touch my ankle or anything. He just looked at me and said, you don't have a torn tendon. And I was like, how do you know I don't have a torn tendon? And he goes, well, because my friend had one, and he could barely withstand the pain. So I said, sir, with all due respect, I don't give a crap about your friend. I want to be sent to Balboa Naval Hospital and have my ankle checked out. So he sends me over there. And once again, like I told you guys, like our first podcast, I think, I could fall in crap and come up smelling like a rose. They're doing x-rays on my ankle, and they're not finding anything. And this captain, I still remember his name, Captain Applegate, he walked through, and he looked at everybody, and he goes, what's going on with this sailor? And he said, well, he thinks he has a torn tendon, but we're taking pictures. We can't find anything. And he said to me, what's going on with your ankle? So I told him, and he goes, I know exactly what's wrong. He goes, get ready to take this picture. He put his hand on the bottom of my heel and on the top of my foot, and then he just snapped it. And I was flying up off the table, and he said, snap the picture. And he snapped the picture, and that x-ray, my ankle joint just slipped completely out. And he said, the only way to find this is what's called a stress x-ray, and that's what I just did to you. You have torn tendons. And then he says to me, obviously this guy knows what he's doing. He goes, if you would like, I'll do the surgery on you. And I was like, absolutely. When I went back to my ship, you know, they set me up for when my surgery was going to be. When I went back to the ship and everything to see the doctor, Chris is right about military medical. He said to me, what'd you find out? I said, I have a torn tendon in my ankle, and they're going to reconstruct it. He goes, that's exactly what I thought.
Yeah. Yeah. What else?
That is the military.
Yeah, I just got out because the politics. It was crap.
And it's getting worse now.
Oh, it's getting even worse.
Which we should
It's
handle.
ridiculous.
That second advice to those still in or transitioning out.
Get out while you can. Quit being a pawn for our corrupt government. That's my statement. I can't stand our government. We're so corrupt. People act like, oh, why is all this happening to us? Because we're evil. America is a big bully, and it's getting to the point where we're starting fights that we're not going to be able to win. So
That is a fact. Here's my advice. If you're not in, my suggestion is don't go in. Not under, especially the administration we have right now.
find a tech school. Tech schools are the way to go.
That is the way to go.
Way to go.
And if you are in, make sure you have the GI Bill because you can use it for tech schools.
Yep.
My daughter did that. She went to Missouri Welding Institute and she didn't like welding as much as she did pipe fitting. And she's a small, tiny little thing, and she was having problems anyway, so that work really tore her up. But, I mean, you can make big money out there. And my other advice is if you're in and you're thinking like law enforcement or stuff like I did, do correspondence courses while you're in there or, you know, college online. Prepare yourself for doing better. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
My phone keeps.
And for those who are like super close to retirement, like obviously you've made it this far, finish it out. But yeah, if you're in for your first 4 years, I'd recommend getting out. It's just me though.
Now, if you're in for your first 4 years and you haven't done any planning, you might.
Oh yeah, you definitely want to plan.
You might have to
get out.
re-enlist for maybe 2 more years. Get your act together. Quit being a clown. Quit thinking you got to go out getting
I
drunk
think-
all the time.
Yeah, that's an important thing. I think the important thing to do, like, you can be in for 4 years, and even if you really don't have a plan, what you need to remember is that everything's going to be okay. Like, I know when I got out, I thought that I had to have a job that mattered. So when I did first get out, the jobs that I had, they felt insignificant. Like, it felt like I wasn't a benefit to society versus what I was doing in the military. And in the grand scheme of things, I'm letting you know right now, nobody cares what you do. Are you a decent human being? Do you treat others with respect? Like, that's really what it comes down to. Are you a benefit to the society that's around you? That's not on a grand scheme. That's like the ones who are around you. Are you a benefit to them? Do you help put a smile on their face? Do they put a smile on your face? Does the job that you have, does it pay the bills? Does it make ends meet? Like, do you like your job? There's a difference between, you know, having a job that you have to have and having a job that you like. It might take you a couple jobs, but don't get discouraged when you get out and think my life no longer matters. Like, because that's what happened to me. I thought, like, all this stuff, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not important anymore. But in the grand scheme of things, if you could be the most famous person in the world and millions of people like you, but there's still thousands of people out there who hate you for absolutely no reason. And it's because they themselves are miserable, and misery loves company. So they're going to do whatever they can to bring you to their level. So that's why people get nasty and judge you on what you do because they themselves feel horrible and they don't want to be alone in that attitude aspect. So just remember that when you get out.
All right, let's switch gears.
Yeah.
What compels you to ride?
It is a freedom that cannot be matched. I haven't found anything that comes close. Oh man. There's just something about being out on the road and I don't know. It's different for being on a sports bike. I'm sure cruisers like it's a freedom, but it's a different kind of freedom. My freedom is no one can touch me. Like if I decide now, I have never been pulled. No, that's not true. I got pulled over on my bike one time, and it wasn't for speeding. They pulled me over here in town because my buddy's bike got stolen the day before, and of course, Captain Save-A-Ho thought he found the stolen bike. So they pulled me over, and my bike looked nothing like his bike. Of course, they checked everything, and everything checked out because it was my bike. So that's the only time I've been pulled over. All the other times, I've never been pulled over. And
His bike was black, right?
yes, all black.
And yours is white.
All black, 2 headlights in the front. Mine has a single headlight in the front. Like, there's so many differences. His bike was way louder than mine. Like, just so many differences. So, yeah, if I'm out on the road, the only reason I'm getting a ticket is because I let you give me a ticket.
Yeah,
that
that's
is
true.
a freedom that most other people don't have. And I wouldn't run. I'm letting you know right now, I would not run. I'd rather pull over, take my lickings, take whatever punishment they throw my way versus possibly not making it home, So, but it's a freedom that is there that you just have to experience it to understand exactly how it feels. Just, you're untouchable.
Mine is, I was born in Long Island, New York, and ended up in California for a couple of years, and then back to New York, and then my family moved out to Colorado, and moved to a town way up in the mountains called Howard, Colorado. There was like population of 200 people. So right away I learned how to ride, started out with Honda 50s, Honda 70s, mini bikes, all that, and then graduated up to a Honda 125 and riding stuff like that because riding motorcycles, riding horses, backpacking, camping, you did all that kind of stuff. And no, I still don't like camping. But anyway, that's why I got into riding because everybody rode, and I was glad I learned how to do it. It was a lot of fun, and the only reason I'm not doing it now is it tears my stomach up. So I stay away from it. He wants to know what's your favorite scenarios when riding and sceneries.
It depends on what mood I'm in. I like a mixture of everything. I like the straight flats where you can see for days and you can just hit mock Jesus. Like, that's fun. But I also like the twists and turns and just really, I know it sounds cliche, but like becoming one with the bike where you're just whipping through the curves. And there's quite a few scenic areas in Missouri, like especially down south, like southeast. They got Mark Twain National Forest. So there's areas where you can get on these really twisty, windy roads, and then you'll just see valleys of like forest, and it's gorgeous. So I like a little bit of everything. I definitely like it warm. I don't like being rained on. I have ridden in the rain, but definitely like dry riding.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I do not like getting caught in the rain. My favorite, riding in Colorado, especially up in the mountains, it's beautiful everywhere. But my all-time favorite ride was when I rented a Harley Softail in Tennessee and rode the Dragon with my wife on back, and that's 318 curves and 11 miles. So that was pretty exciting.
that's on my bucket list for my bike.
Yeah, and at the end of that ride, they have what's called the Tree of Shame, and there's all kinds of motorcycle parts hanging from it from people who have wrecked, and people wreck all the time.
And this guy put a picture of me on the tree.
Yeah.
No, that's on my bucket. Oh, and another riding scenario. I love riding with people. I'm not the biggest fan of going out on long trips and riding by myself. There's a couple reasons for that. One, God forbid something happens while I'm on the bike. I would like to have somebody else there who hopefully didn't have the same thing happen to them, and they can call 911. And then the other reason is just having somebody that you can ride with and like get out and hit the curves and just it's awesome.
Riding by yourself kind of sucks.
It does. Some people enjoy. Some people can just get out and do it though. I'm not one of those people. I like to socialize while riding because we got the intercom and just hit the road.
Well, I couldn't do it before. Like I could do it around town here, but if I went
around town,
if I went 10 miles, then I wouldn't know how to get back. So I definitely needed to ride
yeah.
with people.
I could see that for you, but since I pretty much know how to get everywhere in this state without even using GPS or a map, so I can get places.
I have a horrible sense of direction. It's ever since I was a kid. Matter of fact, when I was a Boy Scout earning my camping badge, they put 18 stakes out, and they put little numbered flags on it, 1 through 18, and you had to use this land navigation chart and to get your camping badge. You could be right on the number or 1 to the left and 1 to the right. That's it. You couldn't be any further off than that. Well, I was going over barbed wire fences and everything. This was in Colorado. And I said, forget this, man. I'm just going to walk up to one of the flags and say, here I am. So I walked up to my favorite number 13, and I said, hey, I'm done. I'm here on number 13. You're the first one to land exactly on the number. And I got my camping badge. And like I said, man.
And then they were like, hey, Thor, get us out of here.
They would have found out the truth real quick.
Give me that badge
real
back.
quick. Hey, he says, if you had one superpower, what would it be, and what would you use it for?
Well, mine's the ultimate. It'd be mind control, because the mind is the most powerful thing. So if I have mind control over anyone, I don't care if you have a superpower or not. I'm going to tell your mind you don't have that. So,
yeah, that is. He just shared that with me because I said, no, the ultimate superpower is to be able to fly. And he said, not if I tell you can't fly. I've always wanted to fly. Not real high.
I've told him he could borrow my bike. He just won't do it.
I just want to be able to get like 15, 20 feet in the air and just kind of cruise around, I just think that would be awesome. What would I use it for? To get from point A to point B a whole lot faster. That's what I would use it for.
How high did you say? 15 to 20?
15 to 20 feet.
I don't think you get there much faster. You still have to follow the roads. You ain't clearing no buildings.
Okay, let's go a little higher.
Yeah, let's
go a
get
little
up
higher.
there. A couple 200 feet. You're a little safer there.
Yeah, 200. I'm just worried about landing, though. That first landing
Do the
might
superhero landing. It's really hard on the knees.
That first one might be tough, man. I'm not really sure how to land, but here we go. So.
Have to find a pool. Only do it in the summer. Just land in somebody's backyard.
What else we got going?
Going back to motorcycles, while it is a freedom, it is also something that you have to properly financially plan for if you want to do it safely and properly, because I think you can see some of it. I'm pretty sure you can. So over on my wall, just what's over there, there's not much. It's over $1,000 sitting on my wall for riding, and that's not including, I got my riding boots over there. Just it's expensive. So yeah, if you're gonna choose to go with that life of freedom, make sure you properly budget for it, because I'm sure a lot of people here, I know everybody watching this probably has one of those friends who's like, yeah, my insurance is only $15 a month for this thing. And everybody goes, $15 a month? That's amazing. And then they're like, yeah, I only pay $12 in gas to fill it up. $12 in gas? That's amazing. How much are tires? Well, I don't want to talk about that. A chain and 2 sprockets. How much that? I don't want to talk about it. Like, it's expensive. So if you're going to choose that freedom, you have to be willing to pay for that freedom. So is it really freedom? It is. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, and you're going to pay a lot more for a sport bike than a cruiser as far as tires. You're not going to go through chains on a cruiser like you go through them on a sport bike.
Yeah, I've actually never looked that up. They recommend that you change your chain on a sports bike every 10 to 13,000 miles.
And that's expensive.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it is, but you know what's more expensive? A cracked engine block. So,
Well, I like
so I don't know what cruisers are.
Well, cruiser, when I used to ride, it was check your chain, make sure you oil it, and make sure that it's snug. And if you start to have any problems, slapping chain or anything, check the adjustments and everything. And if nothing's working, then you change it. So but I don't know if that's how it works now. I don't know if they've come out with something new since the time when I rode. So, yeah, that'd be interesting to know. Guess we'll have to Google it.
Yeah, I'll search that later because now I'm curious what the difference is in like mileage. Because, yeah, I'm pretty sure that not pretty sure. I know that cruisers also get better mileage out of their tires. Well, actually, that's not entirely true because it depends on the cruiser. Because I mean, if you got one of those big, heavier bikes, it's gonna wear your tires down more, even if you're not riding like a bat out of hell. So. It'll be there's all sorts of things.
Yeah, so the biggest cruiser I had was my Suzuki Boulevard, and like I said, I think it was an 800, 850. I don't know, something like that. It was 8, and it wasn't really that heavy. Yeah. It wasn't that heavy, but when you get up to like Gold Wings and stuff,
yeah, those are heavy.
Yeah,
those things look like they have a V6 engine just sitting in the frame. I saw one the other day that had like most of the fairings taken off, and I was like, what the heck?
Was it a guy riding it, or
no? It was in a shop.
Okay,
it was being worked on. But yeah, I was like, "Dadgum, that engine is huge. It's huge. Okay, huge."
How much time have we covered?
I mean, well, this is probably a good place to stop. But I also had to, do that short intermission for the savage dogs in the backyard.
I thought maybe they were going off on each other.
That would be a first. I don't think they'd do that.
Well, that's good to hear.
They're pretty good buddies.
That's good to hear. Because sometimes Tansy whoops up on Arlo. True story. My Rottweiler Shepherd, 85 pounds. My wife's little, what do you call them dogs?
Oh, my God. Corgi, right?
Yeah, Corgi.
Yeah.
She likes to jump at my dog's face, and my dog puts up with so much from her, but then every once in a while out in the yard, Tansy will just take her nose and just flip her. And it's pretty funny.
All right, yeah. Thanks for tuning in. We'll have another one next week.
Hey, and Stumper Media, thanks for the questions. Anybody else, if you have questions, give them to us because we're unscripted, and we just like to have a good time. And
I'm running out of material because my life is actually really boring. You guys just think it's awesome. I'm just kidding. I got stories for days.
I snatch that mic, I grip it, talk my lyrics overflowing.